working for you. NBC Montana News at 5 starts right now.
Breaking news just before show, a Dillon businessman is behind bars in Missoula after police officers arrested him for his reported role in the D.C. riots. The Dillon police chief confirmed the feds issued a warrant for Hank Munzer, but neither the U.S. attorney or the FBI will confirm what he's accused of. We talked with his son, who said it's a misdemeanor. We'll follow up as soon as we have more information. Well, a jam-packed day in Washington, D.C. comes to a close as Joe Biden and Kamala Harris become the 46th president and vice president of the United States. Here you're looking live at the White House, where the new president now resides after the events of this historic day.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
the
office of President of the United States.
Office of President of the United States.
You just heard the moment Joe Biden became the 46th president of the United States, and he swore the oath of office to take the helm of a deeply divided nation and inheriting a confluence of crises arguably greater than any faced by his predecessors. You're now watching Kamala Harris taking the oath of office as vice president. She's the first woman, first black American, and the first person of South Asian descent elected to the country's second highest office. Tonight, we've got NBC Montana team coverage tracking local and national developments on this historic inauguration. Maritza Giorgio spoke to our state delegation who attended and has their reaction. Shannon McNeil is tracking social media developments, and Christine Frizzau has the latest on Biden's first day in office. First, we go to Maritza.
I spoke to Senators Jon Tester and Steve Daines right after President Joe Biden walked into the White House. Both talked about moving forward in the spirit of unity and the message of coming together in President Biden's speech. Daines talked about his visit with Montana National Guard troops Tuesday.
There was absolutely no talk about partisan politics. They all were there very honored and proud to be part of a mission here to protect this transfer of power that occurred today, that peacefully occurred. What I saw today, the speeches, the words, they were good words spoken today of the need to unify and to move forward. The question always becomes here in Washington is, can those words be put into action?
When we're in an informal setting, we get along. We've got a lot in common, and whether it's Ben Sass or whether it's Jerry Moran or Roger Wicker or whoever it is, we're talking to one another and shooting the bull and really, friends with one another. And that's what we need to do more of.
Both also commented on the historic moment of Kamala Harris being the first woman and person of color sworn in as vice president.
Kamala Harris was a colleague of mine. We served together on the Homeland Security Committee. In fact, Kamala Harris and I were literally seatmates. She sat right next to me, so I had a chance to get to know her over the last few years. And it's just a reminder, you never know who's going to be the next vice president or president of the United States.
As Joe said, don't tell me things can't change, because things have changed. And hopefully this is the first of many women that will be in the executive branch, whether it's vice president or president. I just think it's a great sign for the country.
Representative Matt Rosendale was also at the inauguration. I just got off the phone with him, and we'll have more tonight on the news at 10, and I'll also have more with Tester and Daines at 6 o'clock. Reporting in Missoula, Maritza Giorgio, NBC Montana.
It was certainly a busy day for our new president and vice president as they attended annual inauguration events after the swearing-in ceremony. You're looking at the gift ceremony, military review, and President Biden and Vice President Harris honoring fallen soldiers at Arlington Cemetery. Spouses of both President Biden and Vice President Harris attended these various events, along with former presidents and their families. Tonight, our NBC Montana Facebook page is getting thousands of comments on the inauguration. NBC Montana's Shannon McNeil tells us what you're thinking.
With over 1,000 comments and hundreds of shares, our Facebook followers are not holding back this inauguration day. We were live on your feed as President Donald Trump boarded the Air Force One for Florida, and live when President Joe Biden was sworn in using his family Bible. Now, we have your reactions from all of that. Strong opinions are coming from both sides. Peter says, "Congratulations, America," while Mickey says President Biden is not his president. Some of you have posted the throw-up emoji, while others are commenting on the hue of President Trump's skin tone. I have seen our NBC Montana users praising Vice President Kamala Harris, while some are calling her derogatory names. Regardless of anyone's opinion, Rosalie can speak for us all. She says, quote, "It is my hope he will be a good president." This is similar to what President Trump said before leaving Washington, D.C. He said, quote, "I wish the new administration great luck and great success." In the studio, I'm Shannon McNeil for NBC Montana.
A newly sworn-in President Biden arrived at the White House this afternoon. In keeping with tradition, the president arrived with a military procession. The president and his family walked the last stretch to the White House, greeting reporters and visitors. Movers made sure the residence was ready for his arrival. President Biden just signed a flurry of executive orders, on the list rejoining the Paris Climate Accord. Christine Frizzell reports.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
On his first day in office, President Joe Biden is making clear at the forefront of his ambitious agenda will be an aggressive battle against the coronavirus.
We can right wrongs. We can put people to work in good jobs. We can teach our children in safe schools. We can overcome the deadly virus.
The United States this week surpassing 400,000 deaths from COVID-19. The vaccine rollout underway, but slower than anticipated. Biden hoping to have 100 million doses given in his first 100 days in office. His team laying out details for his $1.9 trillion COVID relief package, which will be molded and shaped by Congress.
I do think that there is a general sense that more needs to be done, but I think that it's unlikely to be as large a package as the president is proposing.
The challenges of immigration also at the forefront of the Biden agenda, with thousands of migrants attempting a journey from Honduras to try to make it to the United States. But some Republicans have already given a preview of the kind of resistance President Biden may face in Congress.
What the Democrats want to do is use their narrow and probably fleeting majority to try to silence all opposition to things like opening our borders for 15 million illegal aliens and probably more in the surge we see coming, while also radically changing the rules of our democracy.
Now, as far as President Biden being able to move those agenda items forward, one big question is whether Democrats will get rid of the filibuster in the Senate. While it would make it easier for them to pass legislation with a simple majority, a lot of people worry it's a decision that could come back to haunt them. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
If you missed the inauguration or want to re-watch any of it, just head over to our website, NBC Montana, and also on our Facebook page. We've got all of the events still there for you. Fresh NBC Montana Sky Team video over the Clark Fork River in Missoula. It looks cold out there, and snow still lingers on the ground in the valley, as you can see, and it sounds like another dusting of snow could be headed our way. Let's go live to Chief Meteorologist Brooke Foster for the details. Brooke.
Now, Laurel, we are tracking our next weather maker. It's going to bring snow and cold back to western Montana. It's finally going to feel like January right now. 38 degrees in Missoula. We're at 35 in Kalispell, 36 in Butte, 42 is where we're hanging out this afternoon in the Bozeman area with some sunshine. Radar is showing dry skies for us across western Montana, but that is set to change. In fact, in advance of our next weather maker, we already have a winter weather advisory out for southwest Montana. Also, the southern Clearwater Mountains under this winter weather advisory, but it looks like all areas along in south of Interstate 90 could see some snowfall. We're going to talk about how much snow we're going to see coming up, but on this date back in 1954, Rogers Pass recorded the coldest temperature ever recorded in the lower 48 at 70 degrees below zero. We are tracking a big drop in temperatures this weekend. I'll tell you how cold it's going to get coming up.
Hopefully not that low. Thanks, Brooke. As another round of snow makes its way into western Montana, you'll certainly want to download the NBC Montana weather app, and there you can keep an eye on the latest conditions in your area. A quick check of Montana's current COVID-19 cases, and here's what we found on the state health department's website. 401 newly confirmed cases. Gallatin County still topped the list with 60. Since the pandemic started, health officials confirmed over 90,200 cases. Montana VA health system workers lift off from Helena tomorrow to deliver COVID vaccines to veterans in Havre. It's part of a national VA pilot program focused on getting vaccines to rural vets. The Moderna vaccine needs to be stored at extremely low temperatures, and one reason it's tough to store them in rural areas. Vaccines are available by appointment and only to veterans enrolled in the VA health care. Here's a number to call if you have questions: 406-447-7350. On this day 1 year ago, the first U.S. coronavirus patient checked into the hospital with a fever, cough, and fatigue. The 35-year-old had recently returned to the U.S. from Wuhan, China. He turned out to be patient 1, the first of more than 24 million people in the United States who have tested positive. More than 400,000 people have died from the virus in the U.S. Coming up, looking for a job? Schools are hiring in Missoula, what they're looking for and why. Plus, a new bill that would limit the authority of local health officials is stirring debate in the Flathead.
Tonight at 10.
So how much do you figure the state spent?
Oh, probably a couple $100,000 or so.
Nope. NBC Montana found the state actually spent around $1.4 million in fiscal 2020 for its employees to travel out of state.
Seems like quite a bit right there. Is there any particular reason why it's that high?
I'm working for you to find out where your tax dollars are going and how they're being spent by government officials.
An NBC Montana Working for You special report tonight at 10.